The fascination with French wild waters started in 2017 when friends Matt Vellamil and James Morley first stepped onto the French riverbanks in search of big wild carp that had only been possible in their imagination when watching YouTube videos. I remember staring at their pictures from the trip in awe as James lifted up an FD40 Plus mirror. Little did I know then, of course, I'd be lifting the exact same fish a few months later at a much bigger weight of 53 pounds 10 ounces. The obsession with French wild carp soon began, and further trips were planned for the following years. However, the combination of COVID and fishing other venues, the island, as we affectionately referred to it, had to wait. It wasn't until 2022 when myself and Jay Carrick embarked on a plan to go back to the island. It was Jay's first time on this type of adventure, and I was excited to show him what these wild adventures were all about. I remember in the early part of spring 2022, we set off excited about what was waiting for us on the other side. The harshness of sleeping in a van and not being able to do nights took its toll throughout the week. We trudged back and forth each day with all of our gear, over large cobbles and wondering if your next step would be the ankle breaker that seemed inevitable. It was of course all worth the effort, as we took numerous big carp with 30s, 40s and even a 55, so we were optimistic for our next trip. And in April 2023, we set off once again to hopefully do battle with some of the huge carp that lived on the island. Hi guys, well we've arrived here in France, in southwest France, to fish this major river system here, and I welcome you along to join us on our expedition, so to speak. So Jay, we had such a long journey.
It was a long journey, which we always knew it was going to be. It's a mammoth journey from start to finish, which started off with having to dismantle my car after I thought we were going to be able to get everything in, but it became quickly apparent that we weren't going to be able to do that, so I had to take 2 seats out of my car, and we eventually got everything jam-packed in just in time to get on the road to get to our crossing in time.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a massive undertaking, but we finally got here. We're really confident of getting some big carp here, to be honest. We have fished here before, not this stretch, but we have fished on this particular river before. So yeah, we are confident of getting some big carp, and it's looking good for a bite, especially tonight. We're really confident, and I think without further ado we should get the rods out, and hopefully we'll have some big carp to show you next.
Let's do it. It feels a bit catfishy.
What, small carp?
There was a bit of a drop back, do you remember last time? They were all drop backs, weren't they? The
all the
catfish.
cats dropped back. It's coming quite quick though, unless it's a real small one. But if it's the case, if that's the case, it's gone exactly how it went last time.
Catfish.
Catfish.
To start with.
Yeah, and then
carp.
And then carp.
No, that's from the pan, isn't it?
good one.
That's the first tadpole of the trip then. We're off the mark. Not quite what we wanted. With a big, well, not a big old catfish. I think it's around about 35 pounds. But at least it's a fish on the bank after a swan through my lines. But it's a fish on the bank nonetheless, and I'm going to take it as a positive. Okay.
I just think I've had a bit of a crayfish issue overnight. As you can see, there's no bait left, so it's pretty obvious the crays have been around the area, unfortunately.
Right, we're just having an early morning pack up to get ourselves off to the island. It absolutely poured it down about 5 o'clock in the morning, so everything's got a good old soaking. But we're just getting everything away now and off to the island.
I've been fishing with bare hooks all night, but then again, no one ever said you had to use bait to catch these fish. There was bait around it.
We're going to catch some at the island now, aren't we? Then?
I think we're looking positive. It was like this last time we came, when we struggled on this river, and then we moved to the island and the fish were there in numbers, so we can only be confident going over there and hoping that the fish are there willing to feed.
Leaving earlier in the morning because of the traffic situation which is occurring here. There's certainly a bit of nervous tension in the car this morning because of getting to the island, and we don't know what the situation's going to be when we get there, whether or not we're going to be able to access it as easy as we did last year. So everything's a little bit quiet in the car this morning. We are here, finally, after taking many detours because the sat-nav got very confused about where we were meant to be going. But we got here eventually, and the spot we want to be fishing is free, which is always good. So we're going to get everything unloaded, whack a load of bait out, get the rods out, and hopefully it won't be too long before we've got to CARP on the bank.
Or the guard de pêche come along and kick us off or something like that.
Yes. We finally got here this morning after a long old pack up and a longer journey than anticipated to get here. But we're finally on the island. Really looking forward to getting the rods out, because this is why we came at the end of the day, was to fish here, and can't wait to see what we're going to get today.
Yeah, we know there's big fish here. We're really enthusiastic about getting the rods out. We really want to get in amongst these big carp, and I'm sure with a little effort today we're going to put in quite a bit of bait. We've seen a couple of fish, so we're hoping to get in amongst these carp, and you know, as like last time, we had such a good time here, and we're hopeful of sort of reaching the sort of same levels, fingers crossed, and yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll get into them.
Fish! Woo!
Right on the money. That was on the money. I was right where the boss was.
The bottom slightly to the left. To the right, sorry.
To the right, yeah.
They are here, are they? How many are here? All of them. Good. Who's going to catch first, you or Rich?
Yes.
Rich.
I don't know. I'm undecided. Go confident, mate.
Yeah. Go.
First fish off the island. It's the right hand rod that's gone off, and I think it's the one that's the snowman rig. Because I can't help but fish a snowman. And I hope it's not a catfish.
And where's Rich gone?
He's gone for a poo. Perfect timing.
Well, you can see him shouting at him. We can't get him to actually hear us.
No. He's just wandering off into the distance. It feels big. Does feel like a good fish. I am slightly starting to think that it might be a catfish, but I've not seen it yet. But it's really pulling hard. Catfish! Catfish! It's not a carp. There's the first fish off the island. It's not what we wanted, another catfish, but I guess it's fish in the swim, but we want the carp to show up now and would like no more catfish, please.
So what are you going to do now then?
Put a lot more bait out because the catfish has eaten it all, and catch a carp.
I wouldn't go so mad. Maybe put two. So we're into the fish, first fish of the, well, first carp hopefully, off the island. Just shot off, took about 50 yards of line straight away. In a bit of a deeper area, it's just off the shallower riffles, and it falls into a deeper hole, and well, hopefully we can get it in. I ain't very big, but it will do.
Yeah, it will. Oh man, it's in the right mess.
Come on.
Around everything.
Okay guys, well, it's been a really difficult day here on the island. It started off decent. I mean, Jay had a cat to begin with. We have finally managed a mirror carp. It's a scraper 20. And what we're planning to do now is put quite a bit of bait in and then revisit the place a couple of days. Well, give it a couple of days and then revisit. We just feel as though we need to give these fish a chance to get their heads down. Lovely. Despite the plan to go back to the stretch we fished on our opening night, we decided upon a much closer stretch on the same river, as a journey that should only take 15 minutes took nearly an hour to reach the island from our location through peak time. This would make baiting the island in preparation for our return a much better option.
So we moved off from where we were yesterday after a really disappointing day, where the expectations were really high. I only had a catfish and Richard had a small carp at last knockings. We got ourselves packed up, just about got everything in the car in the dark and moved to another location where we've got everything out of the car and got ourselves set back up again. Got the bivvies up, got some bait out in the dark, and we were just all absolutely exhausted, so we decided that we weren't going to get any rods out in the night and just get our heads down, get a good night's sleep, and so we're a bit more refreshed today to hopefully get some fish on the bank, because it's been severely lacking in that recently. So that's the plan for today, and we'll be going back to our other location in a couple of days' time, as we've put some bait in there. Hopefully that's going to bring the carp into the area more. We might go back today as well and top that bait up, and then we'll be heading back over there tomorrow, whenever Richard arises.
Where is he right now?
He's still in bed, especially after he laughed at me for saying I needed to sleep all day. He's the one that's sleeping all day.
Right, so what's now then?
Now, we've had a tasty miscellaneous meat and croissant breakfast. So now is time to get some more bait out and then get some rods out. I'm doing it.
That's better, isn't it, Jay?
Yeah, much better. I could probably go a bit further out actually. But it definitely wasn't holding bottom there.
Yeah.
Fish on! It's a fish!
Oh! Wow!
Oh!
Could have been my first carp for the trip, that. Gonna redo my lead core, I think. We were just discussing whether it was a freak accident or if it's something I can prevent again, but as we fished here before,
The rod's beeping.
as I was saying, as we fished here before and had fish from the same spot, I think it was just a freak accident rather than needing to change something, because it's the lead core it's gone through, which I've never ever had happen before. So I'm hoping that we can just reset, get it back out again, and hopefully there's a few fish still there.
Been a bit dead for a while, and then suddenly will just get like a proper one tone, and then this took off. Oh! Okay, so last night, bit difficult, but Jay managed a couple of cats as always. He's quite renowned for catching quite a few cats, but he did have an up pull with a carp. I lost a carp earlier on in the night, and I caught a cat inevitably, but finally this morning this one rattled off a lovely common carp, and as you can see it's probably around about 25 pounds. Today we're going to stay here for another night, and then we're going to get back on the island tomorrow, so hopefully a few more of these. Nice one.
It's been a very quiet day. Just having a lovely bit of pasta for my dinner, and absolutely one tone has just absolutely tore off on the downstream rod, and I'm fairly confident that this is my first carp and not a catfish, so let's all calm down.
God, it's a long way downstream.
It's just tore off downstream, hasn't it? Trying to get in that snag down there, it's taken so much line. I'm really having to put quite a lot of strain on it to bring it back upstream.
It's right in front of these rods.
Huh? I can't hear what you're saying, Rick.
Carrying all three of your rods.
Get it back. Oh. In. Come on! So it's been a bit of a slow day today after Richard's action this morning. We went off back to the other spot that we're going to fish on the other river with some more pre-baiting with the anticipation of fishing there tomorrow. It's been quiet today, but we'd got dinner on, just about started eating our pasta, and this one absolutely melted off, tore off downstream, went through all three of Rich's rods, made a right mess of situation down there, but it finally went in the net, and this is a great reward, especially for me after the last 4 days only catching catfish. It definitely got a little bit demoralising just catching them, especially when we're here for the carp, and this is a nice prize to get on day 4 and makes up for some of those catfish. So I'm going to get this one back, get the rods out, and hopefully we have some more of these tonight. Thanks, old girl. Just decided to go and get our heads down for the for the night, as we've got an early start to the morning. Pretty much just so I got in the bivvy, the same rod's ripped off again, and this time it didn't go through Richard's rods. Gosh. Yes. Get in. Second carp of the trip.
I don't want to see very much.
I'll get the lightage. Yeah, nice. There we go. Second carp of the session for me. Come in quite quick succession really, considering how slow and few and far between the bites have been so far. But now we're starting to get in some fish. This is starting to feel good.
Absolute nightmare. Actually, I think it's around this tree. I don't want to say too much because it's the current's strong in there, but it does feel good on. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this isn't right, man. Oh my god. Got it. Yes. Good fish. Okay. This is the result of an hour of problems that occurred literally in Jay's swim initially, and then a big bush came past, wiped all his rods out, well, wiped one of his rods out, and then subsequently wiped two of my rods out and took them both in the river. Luckily I did have my drag on and I did have a loose clutch, but for some reason they both went in and javelined in, but we were lucky to find them, and got the rods back out, and this lovely common carp took within half an hour of resetting the rods. So hopefully, it's still quite early, so hopefully we get a few more of these before the night's out. Lovely. So more positive last night. Had a couple of bites, including this one, which is a 29.5 ounce common carp, and we did have a barbel. Actually, it was a very small barbel that was attached to a line that was tangled, which was quite funny. We had to unline it in, but as you can see, this one here was the best of the bunch last night, and hopefully we're off to pastures new, and hopefully we can get a few more, if not bigger, of these lovely looking fish.
Now I managed to get my first couple of fish on the bank last night, or carp anyway, which was much needed after all of the catfish that I'd been getting. And of course I still caught another catfish in the night, but to get a couple more carp on the bank was really needed for the mind.
Okay, we'll put this down now, and hopefully your net is on the island. Get in.
Making sure you're strapped into the big pulls this time, are you?
I'm not having that again.
Fish on! Where's your alarm, Richard?
Didn't switch it on. Fish on! I'm not concerned now, no. I was a little bit concerned. No runs, but
After 5 minutes.
After 5 minutes, yeah, being here, I was really concerned. But this came out the blue, so it's a good sign for things to come. I don't think it's very big, but it's a fish nevertheless.
It's going to be a 40, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Fish, yeah, nice fish.
What is it?
Miller? Broad, common, I think it was.
I love the big common.
It was only a brief glimpse of it, so I might be wrong again, but it looks a good fish. It's like quite a long common. Yes, lad. Nice common.
So just landed a nice common, and the other rod's just shot off. So basically, got 2 fish in 3 minutes. It's pretty crazy. So there's 1 rod left. Hopefully that don't go as well. This is smaller. Action there.
Good job we're here to tell you it'll be okay.
Oh yeah. Good.
I thought, wasn't it?
Get in. Cheers, mate. That's a 20 though, isn't it?
Yep, definitely a 20.
The carp gods were talking to you, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's going to happen, Rich. It's going to be an amazing video.
This feels very big.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just something a bit different.
She megalodon, this one, is she?
This is a big fish, yeah. Probably could have fly.
How big?
Oh my god, that is a...
Oh.
Get in there. Oh, yes. Nice one. That is a nice one. I'm not touching you up, Jay.
You were? So we got to the island this morning, got all our stuff onto here, got some bait out, got the rods up, and very quickly I had a run, which unfortunately resulted in a foul hooked fish. But not to worry, because soon after that, this guy, Richard, his rods jumped into life, and resulting in this lovely brace of carp.
Just rod going constantly like last time, and we've got one hopefully a little bit bigger in the sight, waiting to be photographed. It's okay. So here we go, guys, 39 pound 5 ounces, the biggest of 3, and all 3 rods more or less went at once. It's looking good for the rest of our time here. Gonna get this one back and get the rods back out. Nice one. That was a good fish.
It does, yeah. Tore off to start with. It's just slowly coming towards us
Carp,
now.
you think?
Carp. I am confident of carp.
Well, that 3 bait's worked then, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
First cast, literally.
Yeah. Wafter.
Wafter, yeah.
Yeah, wafter. We said that all the pre-baiting will get them going. It just proves that it's worked, especially with like coming to and from the river from a different spot each day to pre-bait.
How often have we done it now? Three times?
Three days, yeah.
10 kilo every time, round about.
Yeah. Come on!
Yeah.
Yes! Here we go. My first 30 of the trip, which I'm absolutely made up about, obviously, because it's been a really difficult week for myself with all the catfish. But we're on the island. I've bagged myself a 30, and I'm absolutely made up with this. Can't wait to see what else is coming. That's a bite on all 3 rods now, including a foul hook fish, so we won't count them. But still, they've all made noises. This one on the Snowman rig, which seems to like to attract the catfish, but I also did have my biggest carp on it last year, so I feel like I need to have one out on that just because of that last year. It's a good fish that you on this bit. Oh, yes!
Oh my god.
That's a decent one. Come on! Woohoo! Yes! That's what we came for. That's a £40 common. That's exactly what I wanted out of this trip. Is all I wanted was a £40 common. To see one on the bank and to have it in my hands is absolutely magic. And I am buzzing about this fishing trip. It's turning out absolutely superb.
Now what are you going to do?
Oh! Put it back.
Go on out then.
A beast from the river. I can't tell you in words how happy I am with this fish. But now we're going to let her go back to the depths. Boom!
Doesn't feel like traditional French weather.
Does this feel like a traditional carp that you've got?
Sorry?
Does this feel like a traditional French carp?
I think it feels, yeah, a luxury carp.
A luxury carp?
Yeah, a luxury
Oh,
carp.
nice.
I think when it comes in, we'll know if it's a luxury carp or not. I would like a mirror. I like a big mirror. That's on my wish list. I have lots of commons.
Yes, mate. Oh, that's a big one.
Look at it. Look at the state of it.
Sorry, Rich. You just need cast that. Yeah.
Once they get on the feet,
Do I need to push them? I'm all tangled up there.
I know it's kind of...
Big mirror, love. Come on.
Come on!
How about that for a brace shot? A couple of absolute mint £30 mirror carp, both going off at the same time. Both had a rod in our hands at the same time as they were both going. Just after, I've literally just recast my rod after I've had a lovely bream, which was a super exciting treat for us all. But yeah, what a great brace to have on the bank.
So £36.11 and £38.
5,
6. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Couple of absolute minters.
Let's get them back. Thank you, fish.
Look at this little miniature barbel. It's a stunning little French barbel. I just had it on the redemption. It's probably got eyes bigger than its stomach, but nevertheless an absolute stunner in miniature. I really do love these little fish. So let's get this one back. These are cute, that is.
Welcome to the luxury bench here on the riverbanks. We're here second day in a row now on the island. We finished up yesterday, went and got our heads down for the night, and we're back on, got an early start today. But there's a bit of wind blowing across the island, so it's making some challenging conditions for us today.
We had a fantastic day yesterday, landing numerous carp, some a bit bigger than others, but yeah, it was a very good successful day, and well, we're just hoping we get more today, and I'm sure we will.
Fishing.
Or the beaver.
Or the beaver. Oh, we saw a beaver.
We forgot about the beaver. I reckon it is a barbel.
You reckon it's a barbel?
Yeah. Yeah, you see it? That looks like it's come out of a pond, doesn't it? Recently. It's like a pond fish. turning.
Hopefully it kicks off now.
First one caught properly today. It's only a little one, so we'll just get her back.
Just glad we had a good day yesterday.
Yeah, because it would have been dire, wouldn't it? It would have been
If it
bad.
had been like this yesterday, it would have been like,
Yeah, exactly. What have we done?
oh, he did a fire. Oh, he's shooting them out of his hands now.
I don't fancy a rocket in my face. I don't.
What in your face?
Rocket, not your rocket. Their rocket.
It's got a bit bigger.
It's got a little bit bigger.
9 grams.
Got a bit bigger than 9 grams. Or drams.
Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, happy with that, Rich?
Well, I'm happy I've caught, but they're definitely smaller than the flow. That's one thing I would say. But that's, yeah. Oh, yesterday we were having everything we were catching was decent.
It's positive though.
It's positive, yeah, because we're catching. Yeah. Here's another little one. It's good sport while we're waiting for a bigger one to come along. So we'll just slip this one back.
There you go.
Finally, I've got a run today. It's been extremely quiet for my rods, and I've waited it out and waited it out, and eventually the middle rod's gone. A very aggressive take as well. Finally I'm into a fish. Finally today, I got one. Ivan, would have been a good day, but smaller. Ivan. There we go. Finally, I've had one today. It's been really hard going today actually, but I've stuck to my guns, kept to my spots that I've been fishing for the last 2 days, and eventually the rod ripped off, resulting in this near 30-pound common. So I'm very happy with it considering how difficult it's been. Anyway, let's get it back. So we've decided to come off the island early today with the river levels rising rapidly, unfortunately, but that's the end of our trip now, and I think overall we can take it as a good week because the weather has been really against us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been totally against us, and from the moment we got onto our first venue, it's been very, very difficult. River level's been up and down, also the weather's been cold, and we've just never had any consistency in the weather or our fishing really, but in reality we've got to look back and say, well, actually you did have a 43,
Yeah.
and that was a very, very nice fish to catch, and it was one of your targets.
That was my target for this trip. Yeah.
Unfortunately I missed out on my own target, but you know, there's always next time. But I think overall we could be satisfied, and we'll certainly take that into the next trip. We've learned a lot on this one. It's been challenging, but we can certainly take away a lot from this trip, and heading into our next one we can look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely, as we've said before, that the weather's really played a big factor in this week. It's been so cold and windy and rainy and hail, but I think considering the conditions, we've done really, really well, and should be proud of what we've managed to achieve actually this week.
Yeah.
But now it's time to go and get a McDonald's, because we've been living off pasta for the last week pretty much. So that's our treat, end of week treat.
And anybody who's been on pasta for the whole week understands what that's like. So we are off to McDonald's, and we're going to fill our faces, and we're going to plan our next trip.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.